Hey everyone, it's M4J here, and welcome back to the new M4J network here on openttd. Now this was the part where I was going to say welcome to Tramopolis here at Bahecity Central, but it's 4:30 in the morning, in-game, not in real life. That would be ridiculous. But yeah, it's 4:30 in the morning here in the network, and therefore we only have 4 trams in the vicinity right now, which is still quite a lot, but yeah, only 4 trams. Also, you may have noticed that this is now a Gardens. This used to be our old bus station, but it's now a Gardens. The tram stop has been extended, double the size it used to be, and the new bus station is over here. It's not the prettiest, doesn't need to be, it does its job. You'll also notice that we've got some new lines. So there's this route here that goes through Jewel Waters and Prosperity Lane. That is for BT06, which I believe is the one that just runs from Slayberg Springs, yeah, up to Bahecity Central and back. That was because we had both trams leaving at the same time that were going through City Hall, and it was causing some congestion on this junction here. So now we've got one that goes this way, one that goes this way, and by the time they meet up again over here, in fact I think the one that goes through City Hall actually carries on straight to Butterfield Lane and not across to Whitefriars. So it ends up working out quite well. We also have a new line here, which this tram here, number 819, is modelling nicely for us. This is on BT02, which is the excuse me, Frentbourne interchange line, and it runs through these new stops. So we've got Johnson's Fields, Lower Arches, Highgrove, Parsons Pleasures, Southbridge, Isle of Riches, Robbins Road, High Links, and then it meets up again at Trips Cross. And it kind of forms a little bit of an X shape with 01, which runs from, as we know, the Terminal 1 here at Ringfingley Airport, and that slingshots its way through Slonfingford, and then they actually meet at Trips Cross in opposite directions, and then it runs through Steelers Walk, and yeah, all of these stops have been renamed as well. I don't believe I've missed any out. I don't think I have. Hopefully I haven't. Anyway, today, as the title suggests, and I'm saying that right now with no idea what the title is actually going to be, but hopefully today, as the title suggests, we're going to be working with ferries. I'm just looking at all the way over there. I knew I had a station with the capability of having a dock built alongside it, and I hadn't realised quite how far away it was. Yeah, Bahecity comes all the way out here now, which is awesome. I say that like it's a new addition, but it really isn't. Anyway, is my mouse going at normal speed? One sec. Let me just, slow. There we go. Sometimes my mouse just decides it wants to slow down and speed up and things like that. But yeah, as today's episode suggests, we're going to be working with ferries, and particularly in the inner area of Gardcity, so from Central around. I still need to build this airport here, so I don't want to do too much landscape in there, but we are going to build a new town here. So that, these stops actually have a reason to exist. And there are going to be other stops, ferry stops along the way. So Spring Square is probably going to get one. I feel like Jewel Waters would get one too. And I actually want to build a new river/canal that runs through this area, over the tracks here, and then curve this way and swing around this way, and then somehow, I have no idea how, but somehow end up in this lake. That will mean some changes having to be made to the Transrapid here. Potentially it would be the extension of this set of tunnels, but again, I have no idea right now how that will work. So that'll be a fun game to play. That might be something, I was actually going to be the first thing I was going to do, but that might come a little bit later. And to be honest, I could just do it this way instead, and that might work out a little bit better. And that could be one link, and then I still will build the other link this way, except instead of curving around this way, maybe it'll head up this way instead. Because there is also a massive lake over here that would be good to connect to, particularly as Winnington Tranquility is up here. And although I'm not going to rebuild this station, because it will mess up the high-speed stuff, we do need this number of platforms, believe it or not. I will add a dock to the station here, and I think that will work out quite nicely. Okay, let's get this little bit here done first. Again, bearing in mind that there will be an airport going in here. So I think the water's going to come this way and then down. I think Water's Edge might actually be a good location to build the bridge there. Yeah, that could be a good one. And then the other town could be built somewhere around this way. No idea where. And then also Sargate here. There will probably be a river that comes down into this area and then connects up to all of this. And this will be another way to get people around. What I would like to do, which is actually possible, is extend this waterway here, even if it's just as a canal, and build some docks over at Fort Dronford as well. Reason being is right now we have a lot of people at Bahecity Central. It was over 150,000 before. You can see, oops, picking the wrong thing. A few of them actually want to go to locations outside of Bahecity. So, you know, 539 to Gardcity St John, Portstone Pier. What are the other ones? I think some of these other ones are also around. Artisan Bridges is definitely in Gardcity. I think Cement Crosses, Genford North is, Portston Town, St George Viaduct. Hilliers Plant, I think, is as well. Though I feel like that's actually here. Oh no, Plant Walk is here. Where's Hilliers Plant? Actually, is that... That can't be Sanley, because we don't have a way to get to Sanley from here yet. I don't know what that one is. But yes, in Market Stock, Gloucester Main Line. The point is, there are lots of people trying to get to Gardcity, and they're actually taking the tram over to Fort Dronford, and then getting on the Transrapid, which does go to GSJ, where they can then go on a bus or a tram from there. So one of the priorities is actually finding other ways for people to get between Central and Fort Dronford, and I think a ferry service would be a good way of doing that. If I just quickly... Because the capacity of the trams is good. I think it's like 298, but I feel like there are much bigger ones, much bigger cargo capacities here. So what have we got? We got these ferries, which can hold 800, and they were designed in 1870, so there's no worry about the when it was built. 20 miles an hour is quite slow. There's also paddle steamers, there's other ferries. There's this one here that can apparently hold 800 passengers as well, and I'd love to know how. So I think we might go with the, is it the Madalena ferry? That could be a good one. And the Stornoway, possibly as well. They all go the same speed, so it works. And it's because it's a vehicle ferry, actually, that bothers me slightly. But it does work. I think we'll actually go with this one, to be honest, and we'll just say it's a converted vehicle ferry. Yeah. So yeah, priority right now. Let's get this waterway built, and then we'll start planning out where the other ferry stops might go. There's also going to be a route that comes up here to Frentbourne Interchange. So there'll be a dock added as part of the complex here. This riverway... What the hell does that mean? This waterway will continue off in this direction and also curve around this way and head into this body of water, Lake Buena, which sounded really good when I named it, but now it sounds a bit stupid. Yeah, connecting up some more of these waterways, like there's here as well. We could build a river that comes all the way across into this area, and then actually adding stops and getting more people into Bahecity that way. But you don't want to oversaturate it, that's the problem. Let's build this one first, and then we'll decide what we're going to do after that. Okay, here we go then. We have dug out now, excuse me, a single channel between this lake up here. This is this one here that runs here, and it will skirt the airport there, which is probably just going to be a single runway. Well, not single runway, it has to be a dual. Actually, it could just be a single runway. Might see on this one actually, because it might end up being a slightly smaller airport compared to some of the others, mainly because it's more in the city centre. And then it comes out into this lake here, and then from this lake we've got another channel that sort of meanders its way through and ends up down here at Sut Hill and Overning Hall. Technically connects up to Great Pundinghattan as well, but yeah, eventually we'll dig out further and end up over here. But right now, you can also come this way underneath the Sunningbury Arches, underneath the Hardham Arches, and you could even end up all the way over at Frentbourne, or if you come this way round, you can end up at Renway, and both meet up here as well, which I think is pretty cool. And you can head out to Renway, and you can even head out beyond. Now, I'm not quite sure what I was doing digging this out, but I guess this would run this way and end up over here, and then this one runs. Wow, you can actually go all the way up to Winnington this way. Maybe we'll connect up to Winnington this way then and not use the other lake. I don't know. There's a lot of waterways here to explore. It's kind of exciting. Anyway, one last thing to do over here is dig out the channel here that connects up to Fort Dronford. Now I've got to be careful here because we don't want to flood the Trans Rapids. The first thing I'm going to do is remove all of the existing waterways here. We don't need them. Now, I always say with projects that I try not to destroy nature if I can help it, but yeah, that only lasts so long, it seems. It does give us a nice flat area though for Fort Dronford to grow back into at some stage. I think here might be a good spot for the ship piers. Maybe if I did it like this, and then we can clear out this area here as well, including maybe all of this. Just for now, we'll put the roads back in momentarily. And then if I clear this bit out here too, let me just pause the game for a second and we'll sort this. So, need to use the road tool for a second because I've got to remove that there. And I imagine, yeah, one there, and then there's this one here as well. And then we're going to drop the land down in this area here. Gives us a nice 3 wide area to work with, which is good. We should be able to get 2 piers in, which is really good. Along like this to here, and then again, big diagonal. And I think 3 wide works, but I reckon I can get it 4 wide here. So if I run along this section, there we go, remove all of that. And we'll do something like this. We'll do something like this. Now that is 3 wide still. That might end up being the limit. We'll see. But yeah, can definitely run that along there. Can run that along like that. That fills that gap there nicely. And then here I could do... Well, already flat. I think I misclicked there. We could do something like this. Yeah. And then we can place roads back in. Like so. That'll populate all this area again. And we can also do that. Could, in theory, build a bridge across here. Oh yeah, we could definitely build a bridge across here. Let's do that. Tide arch would be a good one. Yep. That one in like that. That one in like that. That one in like that. And then here we could go up like that. And then we can do something like that. This area here, I think I'm just going to leave as a green area. And then this area over here, that's kind of annoying that it's built it like that. Let's see if I can restore that. There we go. So now water's going to flood in, and then we can build 3 docks in a row, or we can have 1 gap 1. I think 1 gap 1 could work. We could actually, now that I look at it, Do that. Now we can fit 4 in, which I think would work better. We could even do that and fit 5 in, or we could have 3 in the middle, which I think is what I'm actually going to do. So let's speed up time and get this all flooding in, and then we can start actually placing down stops. So we've got enough here now to get at least one solid route going that runs from, say, Frentbourne Interchange via Bahecity Central up to Fort Dronford. But we can even now start looking at other routes like Trendhatton over here, down through the waterways here, all the way down to potentially Humbles Road. Where does the tram go from here? There is one that goes from here to Trendhatton. Oh, it is that one. Yeah. Well, there you go. Could be an alternative to the tram then. Take the boat instead. I don't want everything to be a total route duplication, so it probably would be Trendhatton to for that could be to Frentbourne Interchange, and then we could do Humbles Road, Bahecity Central, Fort Dronford, something like that. I think what I want to do first though is have like an inner city loop set up, which is going to be a bit tricky with this waterway here, but maybe in the future we can build more out this way and connect these up somehow. It'll have to be on the north side, and then we can have a proper loop that starts at, say, Gardcity Central, runs down to Frentbourne, and then all the way up and around to Winnington, and then back to Fort Dronford, and then back to Bahecity Central via other stops along the way, of course. New Trendhatton interchange here is definitely going to have some docks built. That's kind of the whole point of these things here existing. So we can do this like that. Trendhatton is also going to have the same treatment. And this one's even easier to do because we can just go bop bop. Fort Dronford is almost flooded. It's almost ready. Bahecity Central, of course, is already done. Where else did we say? I think Spring Square is a good candidate as well. So we'll get that set up. Like so. It's kind of, like I said, a quicker alternative. Well, in some ways it's a quicker alternative to the tram, not in every way. Water's Edge, I wanted to have one as well. Maybe to serve Gendwood, but then Gendwood itself could have its own unconnected pier, sort of on the edge here. The temptation then would be to reroute the tram down to it, but I think that actually is better. Yeah, and then Humbles Road isn't going to get one. We could come all the way down here to Soot Hill now. Where would be a good spot for that? Probably here. Definitely somewhere along this front. Maybe there. And I'll rename it. I don't think it'll be docks. I think it'll be more like pier. We could go down all the way as far as Overning Hall as well. That's not an easy name to say. Not by any stretch. And again, I think like over here would be a good one for that. Sorry, populace of Overning Hall. I've just completely obliterated you there. I reckon though I can fit 1, 2, 3, 4 in like that. And this would be a terminus, of course. And then Soot Hill Docks. I feel like there needs to be one over here, but I don't know where. Otherwise, we could just use buoys to navigate boats through here. So I'll set those up in a minute. I'll do that as a time lapse because I feel like that's going to take a while. Also want to trim off the edge there. I like the idea of boats having to sort of meander their way through. That's cool. But I will cut some of the corners off, just as a time-saving measure for me more than anything. Sargate. Do we want Sargate to have a dock connection? I feel like yes. But which side? That could almost be what goes here if there was room. Maybe then I could shave off a little bit more here. Let's do that, see how it looks. So it would be like this, and then speed up time. So it would be here. And I guess there. That could work. And then down here, I think this is just going to be a channel. It's not really going to do anything else. That's weird. My work thing just went off, but I'm recording on a Sunday. Weird. I might silence that, actually. We'll see. Right, Bahecity Central. Then it comes through and up this way. In fact, you guys won't even hear it, I've just realised, because I don't record my PC sound while I'm doing this. Over here then, at Fort Dronford, this is quite a big one. So we'll go, oh no, 3 centre ones I said. That's what I did. So yeah, 1, 2, 3. Like so. We've got New Rendhattan interchange. We've got Trendhattan. So that's all set up and working. And then, down here, Frentbourne. We need to get this one working as well. So, first of all, let's dig this out a little bit more. I think like that. Possibly. Now, I don't know what it's going to look like when I actually put the docks in here. It might be a case of we need to have like another lower down road or something. Either that or we take the bus here and drop it down a level. There aren't any buses running through here right now, so that in theory is possible. In fact, already I like the idea of at least giving space for that in the future. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, and then we can fit a 4th one, and then it does mean we can put eye candy or another road, or even drop this down one, and then because of the way there's a waypoint there, so this would all have to move over one, it'll fit. Okay, so we've got enough now to actually get some lines going. If I put some, there's an ice cream van going past as well. If I put some docks here at Bahecity Hardham as well, which is also very tempting, like this, and again in future we can afford to put a road or something across there as well. Let's remove that, we don't need that, that just gets in the way. So now I think we can get 2 main routes set up, one from Frentbourne across to Trendhattan, and one from Fort Dronford down to Overninghall, both of which would go via Central. Now, that does cause, like here from Fort Dronford, for example, it has to come all the way this way, down this way, and in there to then come back again this way. But I think that's worth doing. And the one from Trendhattan, so Fort Dronford, it will go to New Rendhattan, then it would go to Central, and then it would go Sargate, Soothill, Overninghall. The one from over here would go Frentbourne, Hardham, Central, and then probably straight up to Trendhattan. I don't think it would interchange at New Rendhattan as well. That might change at some point. We could also have a line that potentially comes down to Bruntberg and dig a channel this way. But I think that works as an option. Now, I'm going to be lazy and get this done. I'm not going to do the boys right now. Hopefully, or maybe, no, I will do boys. Bear with, I'm going to do the time lapse. We'll come back in a sec. Right, navigation complete. So we've got the Bahecity River, which is this main one here that goes across. This here is going to have its own name. It's probably going to be something like the Grenning Head Cut or something like that. You can say this was man-made, whereas the river was a bit more natural. It's just had man-made elements like the embankments and the bridges and things added to it. I think we're ready. We got to decide where to build our ship maintenance area. So in other words, where the depot is going to go. I have an idea for that. I was planning on putting it over here and actually using the cut to get to and from, which might mean placing some more buoys down. But in theory, that works. The only thing I don't want to have to happen is using Gardcity Central here as terminus points. So we would have to run down to Frentbourne and also down to Overning Hall. But in theory, that does work. I also just remembered that Spring Square is on the map here as well. So it's a case of how would that work? Probably... I think actually the line that goes from Overning Hall would come up through Sargate, then Spring Square, then Gardcity Central, and then up. And the one that comes from Frentbourne would go Gardcity Central, Gendwood, and then up. Because that's the Trendhatton one, isn't it? And then Fort Dronford is the Overning Hall one. And again, it forms like an X shape at Gardcity Central. That works surprisingly well, actually. The other possibility was building the docks down here and connecting it to the tram depot, but I don't know. I think up here, maybe even on this patch of land here would be a good place. In fact, over here. I'm going to build it over here. This would be a good spot for it. And I'm going to kind of go with a similar style to what I did over at Sanley with the freight dock, where it's going to kind of form a U shape like this. So I need to speed up time again, get the water flowing in. I do love the fact that I can do this right now. The tutorial world lets me do this as well, where just because there's no vehicles running, things are so much quicker. You can literally just get stuff in and out here so fast. Right, get rid of all that. There we go. So that, and then all the way down here to there, and then all the way down here to there, and then this bit here we just fill in. So you are Renway dry dock, and already I'm thinking this needs to be a little bit wider. So I'm going to do that on this side here. Well, we'll do something a bit more like that. Just gives us a bit more space to play around with, you know? So we can go there, and we'll do one more there just to make it a little asymmetrical. Now, can I fill in this a bit more? I don't think I can actually because of the docks, but we can definitely put eye candy in there to fill those. Okay, and the absolute last thing, of course, is this. So now we are ready. We can start setting up lines. I do feel like having some ships navigate through the cut here would be smart. So let me just put... You just need buoys at each end. We don't need... And it's buoy, by the way. It's not buoy. Anyone who says buoy, no. So your Grenning Head cut east entry. And that's something else I was going to point out as well. So I've put east here, even though it's technically... It's the eastbound one, I suppose. That's what I mean. So it's not the westbound, eastbound. Hang on. Let me just do this, and I'll try and explain that again in English. Grenning Head cut east exit. So yeah, what I mean is... so like this one here is... south entry, even though technically it's the northern entry, it's the southbound entry, and that's what I mean. Also, you'll notice that I numbered this one here number 2 because eventually there will be a channel here that's going to be dug straight down, and therefore number 3 is going to be there, therefore number 1 on this one is going to be there, and then obviously entry exit on this side. That's, yeah, probably didn't need to explain that actually, but there we go. Right, just get this here done, and then we can start planning out these 2 services. Grinning Head cut west entry. And then this one, Grinning Head cut west exit. Sweet. Okay then. So let's get some ferries going. So first of all, let's go for, it's really tempting to go for the big one here, but I think because we're running inner city, we're probably going to go for this one, which is the Stornoway. Ship 99. Excellent stuff. And then you are going to go there, there. And then before I do that, you're going to be service. You're going to be no unloading, no loading. There we are. And then we're gonna trace this one out in one singular thing. I'm also gonna have to turn waypoints on for this. So yeah, you're gonna go there, 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 down here. That one there, there, over to here, where you are gonna stop. We'll do just once for now. We'll do this properly. So yeah, Frentbourne, there, 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 Hardham, and then up to here, down to there, down to there, over to here, and then this one's going to go up to Central, which I think I'll just do that for. That's fine. Now you are the one that goes to Trendhatton, so from here you are going to stop. I kind of want this one to actually go across to Spring Square, but no, I think you're going to go Gendwood and then up the canal like so, and then Buddingville, Trendhatton, and then back. Now how long do I want these to stop at each dock for? Probably like 5 minutes. I think that's a good amount. Bahecity Central and then back via the river. Again, boats aren't exactly my forte, and you might be going, no way, but yeah, believe it or not, the real things that I'm a specialist in, if I could say that, are rail and air. I'm not that great with road. Tram, slightly different, because it's basically rail. But yeah, everything else, not really my thing. Okay, there we go. And then, of course, at Frentbourne here, unload, no loading. Cool. Timetable. So first of all speeds 20 miles an hour. I think we can get away with that. All of these, so 5 lots of 1980. And I could work that out mentally, but why would... Oh, 9,900. It's... Yeah. Like so. This one, of course, is going to be 29,700. This one is just going to be 1980. And then Frentbourne here is going to be 19800. And then Trendhatton there is going to be 19800. And then technically, I suppose this Frentbourne should be as well, but I'm not going to do that right now. The wait times can change without too much inconvenience, so that's fine. Cool, first one done. This one, because it's going between Central and Fort Dronford, I kind of do want it to have the bigger size, but then it's got really narrow waterway here to navigate its way through, which I think it will be able to do. But still, it's something to bear in mind. I think we'll go for the big boat for now, and we can always swap it for a smaller one if necessary. That's a good mentality to have. So, here. And then this one's going to go via the cut. Down to Sargate here. There. Of course, all these buoys are being put in for very specific wayfinding reasons, but I guarantee you it's going to mess things up anyway. So, particularly when it gets to like open water here, it's just going to cling to the side. I have got the setting enabled where boats won't collide, so I think you will see boats moving away from one another at various points. I think that's the case. That one there. Then here. Then technically you could go Gendwood next, but I'm going to go central, then Gendwood, then up the canal. Like that. Then Rendhattan. I feel like this one has more stops as well, so having the ability to hold more passengers is actually kind of crucial. Like so, like so, like so. Over to Gendwood, up to Central, down to Spring Square, and then back this way via Sargate. Like so. And then Soot Hill and Overning Hall, where you unload. And then back to depot. I'm still looking for a way where I could have a vehicle basically run the same service all day without having to run back to the depot. If anyone has any suggestions for how to make it do that, just like in real life basically. Or Master Trams was actually talking to me about something recently where he was having to use an exploit so that excuse me, frog in the throat, a train running on service A could pull into a station like, say, Bahecity Central. Say it's come from this line here, New Grumpool Junction. It will run into Bahecity Central, and then from here it will form a train that will run down to all the way this way, down to Plenborough, and then back again. But we want to run it as two separate services. So if you click Bahecity Central, it doesn't say Plenborough. Or if you click, that's a better example, if you click Brookside, it won't say Plenborough, it will say Bahecity Central, and then it will turn into a Plenborough train. Right now, there is no real way of doing that other than adding the order twice, which can mess things up when it comes to signalling. Which, yeah, it can be a bit of a pain. So, that's a tricky one. Don't know how to fix that. Also, I would like the whole thing of trains shuttling backwards and forwards on the same service all day, and then head back to the depot either when it needs maintenance or at night. There must be a way of doing it, just haven't worked it out yet. Hang on. This one here needs to be 29700. And then this one here needs to be 19800. And then Fort Dronford. There. Excuse me. 19800. Yeah, then you could have like these boats shuttling back and forth all day and not have to worry about because right now it seems a bit stupid that it comes out of the depot, it comes all the way down here, runs one service back, and then goes back to up here to then do it again. That's where it does seem a little bit dumb, in my opinion. Not necessarily for everyone else. And it's the hyper-realism thing, and I know there are hundreds if not thousands of people out there who don't care quite honestly about the hyper-realism, and that's fine. That is totally fine. But for those that do care, JGR players for example, We would like an option to be able to do something like that. And the reason it doesn't work right now is because it messes up scheduled dispatch. So if there's a way of doing it without it messing up scheduled dispatch, that would be great. Now you could have the first order. So say we had a boat that started here at Central. You could have that be your scheduled dispatch point, with the depot being separate under conditional orders. But again, it does still mess things up, and you don't want a platform occupied for 6 hours if a train arrives too early. So having sidings and things is a good place to have your scheduled dispatch order list start from still. But yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, we've got these boats ready to go. So I'm going to set them both going. I don't know why you felt the need to wait when you didn't, but okay. The main thing is, yeah, these are going now. So in a second, again, if I do my magic speed up time trick, we'll see the big boat here come out. And it will come over here. Eventually, not scheduled dispatch, eventually cargo distribution will realise that there are better ways now to get from Bahecity Central. Because I think as well, a lot of them, so these ones here that can go anywhere, you know, they'll just sort themselves out over time, hopefully. But let's say, where's one? Gardcity St John, there you go. So they've come from Horsefield Way. So I thought they might have been spawning at Bahecity Central, but they're coming from other tram stops. 400 people, by the way, from one random tram stop over here want to go to Gardcity St John. They must have heard good things. They must have watched my video about it and heard good things. Also, these boats are on the same... Yeah, ships avoid collisions. Ships try to avoid passing through each other. 90-degree turns are forbidden, so there's no need for that. But for some reason they're at the same dock, even though there's plenty of other docks for them to have parked at. That's slightly irritating, because that goes against everything I just said, but there we go. Okay, these are both going to sit here now until 5:53, 5:54. I'm not going to make you guys sit here that long, even though, again, with time sped up, it doesn't take that long. I really would love to show off what this looks like when trams are constantly coming in. I think we have like 4 trams arrive and leave at the same time constantly. And it just looks so cool during rush hour. When you have a tram on each route running every 5 minutes, which means, there's 8 routes. So you have 40 trams. No, that doesn't add up at all. You have 8 trams every 5 minutes coming into and out of Bahecity Central. That's what I meant to say. I think that adds up. Sure. But that's just in one direction. So then you have them coming in the other direction as well, or the ones that terminate don't do that, obviously. I think there's 3 that don't. So you have 5 trams in each direction on 8 routes. No, you have a tram on 5 routes every 5 minutes, north and south. So you have 10 coming through. Oh god, again, my brain just melts sometimes when I'm trying to work things out these days. I'm not even that old. I know I joke about it at times, but my mind should not be going the way it is. Anyway, yeah, it looks cool. There's lots of trams. That's why last episode was called Total Tram Takeover, because trust me, it is. Why are you... Oh. I didn't do the no loading, no unloading on this one, that's why. I also didn't do the service on this one. That might be why that did its thing as well. Oh, what am I doing? No loading. No unloading. There we go. And now it's off anyway, so it doesn't even matter anymore. But yeah, eventually this will rejig itself and passengers will start using the boats to get to and from. Because I think, despite the fact the trams go 10 miles an hour faster than the boats, I think it does take longer still for a tram to go from Bahecity Central to Fort Dronford than it would for the boat. Although saying that, it does stop a few places along the way and waits 5 minutes each time. So maybe it's not faster. Maybe it's not. Also, I've just noticed there are 69,000 people here waiting to get on the Transrapid trains as well. Despite the fact that these are only 5% full. Interesting. It's fine. I'm sure it will sort itself out. Where are you? Oh, you're down there. Did I not rename this one? Oh, I didn't rename any of these. Oh, okay, I'm going to do that off camera in a second as well then, because I can't be bothered to do it now. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. And, of course, if you're enjoying the series so far, drop some comments down below with ideas for future episodes. Trains are coming. That's another thing I was going to say actually in this episode. High speed will be arriving soon, transporting people from the centre of Bahecity to the centre of Gardcity. I just need to open the documents and try and get my head around them myself, because there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff in those documents. I haven't looked at them yet, but I know for a fact there's going to be a lot of stuff in them, and I've got to try and interpolate it and then put it into a workable timetable, and then actually integrate that timetable into the network. And just saying that makes me want to cry. But yeah, it'll happen. It will happen. I will recruit Master Trams as assistants. I will also be shifting this save to an online mode soon as well, so that my patrons can actually get on and help. Now I've got 2 patrons, both officially credited. You might have seen it at the end of last week's video. You'll see it at the end of this week's video as well. It makes sense to actually try and get the online side set up and actually have people come on and help me run this network, because it's getting a little bit tricky to run it all by myself. So having some support would be greatly appreciated indeed. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Those of you who have already subscribed, thank you for your continued support as well. It doesn't go unappreciated. And of course, if you would like to become a patron as well and join George and Master Trams on the network here in the near future, then check that out. Link is in the description and also appears on the new end card. So feel free to check that out. Totally optional, of course. And eventually channel memberships will get set up too, and that will give you the same perks and rewards as well. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you once again for watching, and until next time, I will see you soon.